So hi, good evening everyone. Whoever is going to watch this video later, it's going to be uploaded. So we are all here and celebrating the fifth anniversary of Chrysanthemum Chronicles, which was earlier, long back, it was known as Plethora Blogazine. And this video is going to be there on my talk show as well, Mona Lisa's talk show. And before I'm going to start conversing with all of my guests today, firstly, I would like to thank them because out of their busy schedules, they have come and joined this event. It means a lot to me. And what should I say? Plethora Blogazine is something. Chrysanthemum Chronicles was earlier known as Plethora Blogazine, if you remember. So I started this journey as an e-zine. Basically, it was a digital magazine, and at that time, this was kind of benchmark kind of thing because this wasn't known to many people at that time when I started. So I started getting a lot of traction, and many writers started joining. So Plethora Magazine started growing big, and then the group grew big, and slowly from the digital magazines we changed into paperbacks and profitable books, and we made ourselves into a publishing house. And now for the last 2 years we have done some 10 11 books, 4 journals, and today we are also doing a launch of my debut novel, The Red Ganges. So let's start, let's have fun. So tell me, people, how do you feel? How was your journey for these 5 years? Gauri, you tell me how you joined.
Yes, actually, I got introduced to this platform through Rohini, so I should thank Rohini for the introduction. And first time I participated in the Dracula's love
Okay.
letter, yeah, that poem.
Yeah,
And uh, my journey with CC has been amazing because all the prompts that were given were really out of the box, and it brought out the creative side of me. I should say I should really thank Mona Lisa ma'am because the the prompts were so unique, which made us think outside the box. And I did attempt for quite a few prompts, and later the CC magazine also was released. So I'm glad to be part of, I think, all the four magazines that were
yeah,
released. Every prompt in it, I really loved it. And after that, I was also part of the vignette, Frida Kahlo vignette. So that
yeah,
one, and I was part of Monochrome Verses, and I must say, Monochrome Verses is an amazing book. I still adore that book. It is so nicely done, and the pictures or even the quality of paper, it's really remarkable that you have put up that coffee table book, ma'am. So I love it. And of
thank
course, there are
you.
other anthologies also which I could not be part of, but I'm really glad for having had the opportunity to participate in many of these anthologies or the contests. So it helped me grow as a writer. So thank you so much, ma'am. And I have read Demigods Are Alive. I loved it. And of course, The Red Ganges. So I'm glad I was the first person to review. I really loved the book.
Yeah, thank
So,
you very much. And ma'am, Dipti ma'am, please tell me, how did you join? How your journey started through, CC?
Oh yes, I think first of all, very very happy birthday to Chrysanthemum Chronicles and to you,
Thank
Mona
you.
Lisa, for being the spearhead and the amazing creator. I
Thank
think
you.
I think all of us have learned so much from you. Yeah, all of us are basically writers, yes, but how to put out a product so beautiful. Every book of yours has been different. I was not part of you 5 years ago. I think it took me a little longer. And I think, where did I start? Yes, I started with the magazine, of course, where we had our poetry being showcased, and
Mhm.
even the magazines were so beautiful. I think you have not only a writing a writing pen, but a creative eye and an imagination that just runs riot. And there is so much we can all learn from you. And I have, after I joined, I don't think I ever looked back, because I think I kind of made sure I pushed myself into everything that you did, because I didn't want to let go of Chrysanthemum Chronicles and the wonderful writers who are all around. And so I think Songs of a Mermaid, the Anachronic Cosmic Dancer, Abandoned House Horror, all these I think I've been part of, and every project makes me feel even more, more and more part of CC. and also happy that I'm part of this wonderful enterprise. And I wish you all the very, very best, Mona Lisa, because knowing
Thank
you, everything is going to just keep going. You're going to carry on soaring and soaring and soaring, and so are your books. And hopefully we all going to be part of all your books. I don't think you can get rid of us.
No, no, no. I don't want to. It would be lovely to have you, all the way along, because I also want to see so many books coming from CC. Because the best part is that the concept that we are bringing, people are finding them different, and they love to write for it, and that is the best part. What I
Yes,
feel, and content is always different from what we have catered so far. And
absolutely.
thanks to all of you, all the people who have supported. And Rohini, you also tell me how you joined and how was your journey so far? How's your journey?
Yeah, the Plethora Blogosine, I always mention wherever I go that it is my parent platform. It is the platform wherein I have started my writing journey with. My first poem I wrote for Plethora Blogosine, and it continued, and I've got my that first appreciation letter what I got from you. It meant a lot to me. That was the first time I could see my name over there, and I was on cloud nine, and the journey continued so beautifully. And every time you come up, as Gauri said, that with such unique prompts, and we feel like they're so alluring that we feel like putting our brains together and doing something for that. And I'm glad that I've been a part of certain poetry books like Indian Summer in Verses, and I was a part of Coffee Table Book,
Yeah,
and I was a part of this vignette, Frida Kahlo's,
yeah,
and yeah, and two literary journals, the anniversary edition and one other one, that Letters to Dracula. So
yeah.
after that, somehow I was in a break. I couldn't put my thoughts together and pen down anything. But the journey with Plethora and Chrysanthemum Chronicles, it's just like a family to me. I always say that it's an all. I got introduced to such beautiful people through this platform, and it always, it's a treasure. I can say it's so precious.
Thank you so much. And some of the good things that have happened for our books is one of the interesting events that, incident that happened. I have shared in last of our events. Shrishti, if you remember, I told about monochrome verses.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what happened is when I did the launch of this book physically at Kiran Nada Museum last year in March. So the video was uploaded, and after some time, like a month after, a person came looking for me for my office, and he was like, "Where does Mona Lisa ma'am is?" And I want to find out that whether monochrome verses is available on Amazon or something. So I said, "No, it's a limited edition, so it's available directly through me." So that person told me कि somebody has seen your video on YouTube and wants to order that book. I don't know that person. It was a retailer who came to me, and that person took the book from me, and it was like a wonderful feeling that wow, even if we are not traveling in a the mainstream way, but the way we are doing it, it's really universe is working something. So I felt very happy about it.
Lovely.
Thank you, ma'am. So Moshumi, you also tell me your journey. How did you join? And I think you've been the person who has been with me from the beginning, from the time of the e-magazines while I was doing them.
Yes, yes. Perhaps I joined in May or June, I think, and just before the inception of Plethora Blogazine. And mm, in the month of June or July, you recognized me and gave an appreciation certificate. And I must admit, and I used to admit before everybody, that that was the major source of motivation for a budding writer to go to go forward with her found passion. Actually, I was just a budding writer at that time. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes.
Okay. And that was a great motivation for me. And and I believed in myself from that time. And I started writing more and more. And I I can say that I came close to several very good, terrific writers in this group. They are so good writers, just like you. the Deepthi novel ma'am, sorry, not novel, sorry, Deepthi ma'am, Deepthi ma'am, then Srishti and Gauri Bhargava. I just love your writing, and Rohini is so good a friend to me. Then Nandita is not here today. She is
Yeah.
such a good writer, and now a very good friend to me also. So naturally, journey with Sisi is earlier it was Plethora Blogazine. So it is really good for me, and I'm happy to be with you always. I have participated in several anthologies,
Most of
but
them are.
still I feel that to Frida with love. This one is the best anthology I have ever written for. I don't know why I feel so close to this anthology, to this book, to this character.
I
So,
know.
and there are other anthologies also. And recently I edited one anthology that was also terrific, very good. And we discussed about that anthology in our last meeting. And now I will be with you in the future journey also, that I can assure.
Lovely, lovely. Thank you so much, Moshumi. It means a lot. And Shrishti, let's listen to your journey. Then I'll tell you something very interesting, another story.
Okay, so my journey it begins when there was Plethora blog zine, and it was like I don't know how I think common friends were writing for it, so it started flashing on my screen also, and somebody I don't know, but somehow I got connected like that, and I started writing. The first topic I was acknowledged was like we had to write something about a dream. So in that I got the editor's choice, and it was published in your magazine. And then later there was another love letter to Dracula.
Yeah.
So again, that was given the editor's choice, and that just a minute. Yes, Samad, everything. Send it to me. Okay. I'm so sorry. I just told my son had come from the tennis class, so he was telling me something. So yeah, okay. So he was. So that is how I started, and the appreciation definitely it helped me and boosted up my morale, and I started writing more. And then the first. This book, which I cannot never forget. This is such a favorite book of mine that I still love it, and it's always by my bedside because often I turn the pages and read about Indian summers. It smells so much about Indian summer and everything. All the journals, the literary journals, Shakespeare's Heroine Resurrected, and many thanks to you, Mona Lisa, for believing in me and making me the associate editor of Chrysanthemum Chronicle. Again, with all my vices and whatever, you have given me the chance, and that has helped me as a writer to improve myself in my reviewing skills because I was never a reviewer before. And then you motivated me to write reviews, and also that really, that was something very different I was doing. And when I started writing reviews, I was like, oh, I can write such reviews also. Like I was like that I explored a part of me which I never knew that I had that skill in me because I limited myself to poetry writing and short story writing. So that is how it went, and I'm so happy to be a part of this group. And I have met Rohini personally, and I'm very sure one day we are all going to meet somewhere. And
Yes.
I'm so happy that we are connected. And many congratulations to you for your the
Thank
red
you.
candle, and I will put up the review soon. And
Sure.
I'll just hope that you keep coming up with all these different anthologies and poetry and all because I just love the themes and I just love the process that from poetry or writing to publication, that whole process, it's like a complete package at one place. Like other places, you are just writing, but it's not getting published. Over here, it's also getting published. It's reaching out to the audience. So that is the best part. And I really love the way the books are printed, the layout, and I like the small little details that you put in every book. That is really very commendable, and that makes the book stand out from rest of the books.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, so these are my actually the books from CC are one of my favorites. Like whatever I have taken part, they are always my favorite, and they are always somewhere around me because I love to go through them again and again.
So lovely. And you know what? I have also donated some of our books to some libraries. And also, an interesting story that I'm going to tell you is that recently, what happened, not recently, a month back, I would say, Deepak Chaudhary sir, who is also our senior editor. So he posted something with one of our journals. I don't remember exactly which one. And a senior journalist got the book caught his attention, the journal or book, something, and he connected with Deepak sir and he asked him that where are these books, these books, where can he procure them from? So he told that Mona Lisa Joshi, you can connect with her and she would be of help. That person, his name is Amit Sengupta. He's a senior journalist with Tehelka or something and some other big magazines. So he connected with me in this that same evening, and he asked me ki, how many journals you have and what is your journey, what you are. And I told him everything, that there are 4 journals. Then we have done some paperbacks, and he was so impressed only by the cover pages of it that he wants to meet me personally. And he said ki, I would love to borrow the books and review them on Tehelka or any of the platforms that he's working with. So our meeting is pending because of the exams and all, because he's a professor also at JNU. So I really thank the universe. Whatever is happening, the way I'm just not aware, and things are happening. Magic is happening somewhere, and suddenly I get to know that news, and it excites me even more. Yeah, this is good. This is our work is good.
Yes,
Because
it is, and it is.
yeah, because we are not like doing that things the mainstream way, the big publishers or the commercial publishers, but slowly and steadily things are going good. So I'm thankful to the universe and to the writers who are supporting me so far. All these books have come because of all of you, so big thanks to all of you. The Songs of a Mermaid, edited by Deepak sir. This is the first paperback we did, and this increased my confidence that I can design books as well. I had no idea of how to, typeset a book. I really took so many tutorials, and then I learned the process. And after that, I was creating the way I wanted, and that was the best part. I can put the things, the illustrations, the creatives according to my way. And another important thing that I felt was that everybody was supporting the way I was designing it. So that increased my confidence. So I feel
You
so
know,
thankful.
one cannot say that you are not. You are such a pro. It's like your books are such professionally designed and all. Like it's difficult to say that you are not like how you said. No, you just learned it through the process. So
Yeah.
it's very difficult to imagine
I
that.
took tutorials because I wasn't aware. Designs would come into my mind, but how to implement them was not known to me. So that I learned, and then I was like, somebody was suggesting me, ki, why are you bringing your novel from your own publishing house? I said, it's fine. I understand what you're trying to say, but the way I want to design it is something that I won't get from somebody else. So let it come.
The
So
freedom of
yeah,
expression. Freedom of expression.
exactly. Creative liberty.
Yes. Freedom of
All
expression.
the journals and all, they are so creatively and they are so well designed. Like they just stand on the global platform. You know, it's like the work is so beautiful.
Yes.
Like
And you know what? We have to thank our editors as well. Nandita Dedi has started from this book. At that time, I, barely knew her because she was just a member, and I approached her and I was like, I called her instantly Didi because I felt that connection, and I asked her, will you, edit this book? And I saw her profile as well, that she has been with some newspapers and she was a freelance editor or something. So I approached her, and she immediately agreed. And then what came was magic. Her work is amazing. And then Moshumi, you also edited this book. I can't express my thankfulness how amazingly you have done. So yeah, this one is When Goddesses Walk the Earth. And of course, I have to thank Dipti ma'am. You have also been with this guest editor of this book. Amazing journey we had. The graphic horror book.
Graphic horror. My God, Mona Lisa. Everybody who looks at it gets scared. They don't know which page is more scary. because your visuals are so apt and so scary that I think people will have nightmares looking at them. So they're so apt for the book.
And even I'm a very scaredy cat when it comes to if you have to watch the horror genre. Yeah, if I have to watch a movie or something, I feel very scared. But somehow I don't know how I designed this book at night only, midnight. Ghosts were helping me, I guess.
I know. Obviously, you got over your scare and your jitters because
Yeah.
these are really scary. You know,
Yeah.
even ardent people will be scared. So I don't know how you got over your horror or your jitters.
Now, after that, I've been watching so many horror movies, so I've overcome my fear. Yeah. So let's talk about this book. I would be so happy to share a little bit of how this started. The Red Ganges, we are doing the virtual launch of my debut novel. Physical launch will take place somewhere in April, maybe when I'm a bit free from my children's exams and all. So if you want to ask me anything, you can ask. How did you like the book or anything?
What was your inspiration behind this book, writing this book?
Yeah, that's a lovely question. I would love to answer this. Well, the inspiration is always that first thing, Bengali roots. And since from my childhood time, I have been to my hometown Nawabganj. So this place, which I have actually used, which I have called Rani Badi, this is actually fairy house, Pori Badi. Pori means fairy, and this exists. And this house has always intrigued me. Whenever I used to pass, from the side of this house, I used to find so many stories there. I used to wonder how Zamindar people would have been, how their life would have been, how their women would have been, and then I listened to many stories also from my grandmother that they had a very elaborate life, and the women were very beautiful, and they would be adorned in gold and ornaments, and so everything that stayed with me. And then I also watched many Bengali movies of that Zamindar culture, that era. So I wanted to write something, and I wanted to write on my hometown, Nawabganj. So that's how this thing happened.
That
All the
is such a
How did you choose this title, The Red Ganges? Why did you choose this title?
The Red Ganges is something that is happening. I don't want to give it out, but that is the title of that particular thing that is happening in the town. And red means red. Basically symbolizes here Rakt.
Blood.
Rakt means blood, and Rakta Ganga, which I have actually in Bengali we have to call it Rakto, but since many people wouldn't have understand, so I have used as Rakt Ganga. So the second part of it, which I'm writing, it will have even more, things about Rakta Ganga, the Red Ganges.
So while writing this book, did you already have a plan about how the plot would progress, or your characters just took ahead the story for you?
Yeah, I will tell you this because I'm a very clumsy person about when I have to, write when I have to create characters, because I don't know how many times I've erased so many characters and then I have to develop them. Uh, I will. I I started my novel. I will tell you back in 2014, and then I wrote a few chapters, and I shut it down. I closed my laptop, and I wasn't looking at it because I wasn't finding any ending. So I in the between between I was doing so many other things, like I wrote short stories, I wrote poetry, I brought demigods are alive, and I wasn't again stuck with the ending of this novel. So I thought ki let it brew. When I have that kind of ending which will satisfy me, then only I will bring it out. So finally, when last year only in the November month, in 1 month I would say, I wrote the last some 7 8 chapters of it, and it came so fast, and I finished this book. So yeah, that is how it happened. And characters and all, it like with the flow only, I would say. Because when I started, I had a different plot in my mind, and while I was progressing in between, the plot kept changing, and I felt like this will be more better when I start took it later. Yeah.
But
Yeah, I
you
remember
made
when we were talking. Sorry,
No, sorry. Carry on,
yeah.
Gauri.
No, I remember. I think I was there while interviewing you for Demigods Are Alive. You were telling there is a novel in the making, but I'm not sure when it's going to end. So this is the same novel,
True,
right?
true. I'm not very particular about I have to do it like this only. That's not how it happens. Supposedly I'm writing and a character, I am writing it, and then I will just stop, and that thing will keep on playing in my mind while I'm doing some other things, and I
Yeah.
start conversing with that character. I go and I become more and more touch with that character until it brings all kind of emotions to me. I've also cried with some of my characters. So then I feel ki now I think I'm ready to bring that character out, and then I write it so fast it happens then.
Yeah, Monalisa ma'am, when you said that you cried out with your characters, in fact, this book also made me cry at a moment. I don't want to reveal the story because there are so many people who want to pick the book and read, and it is such thing. I wonder, the way you bring out the emotions, especially with the women characters. Even in the book of Demigods Are Alive, I relate your work with that of Nandita Puri, Anita Desai, Kushwant Singh ji, and all. Whenever I read the short stories of theirs, and I was reading this Demigods Are Alive and this Red Ganges, it was like so deep and so profound. So who is your favorite? Who inspires you to write women characters, so bringing it out? Any favorite writer of your author whom you love?
I would say I've read some of the women writers during my college days. So they used to write on women only, like Shashi Deshpande, I would say. And then there's, I'm not able to recall her name, Hossein something. Her name is, and I read one of her novels, and that was only totally on women-oriented novel. It was, and was from a Muslim background. So yeah, some people, and then of course Jhumpa Lahiri, and then. Arundhati Roy, I would say, but they don't write on women specifically. But Shashi Deshpande, I would say, she has touched me. And then this poetess of ours, what's her name? I'm not able to recall her. She's very famous. Um, her poetry is also women, women oriented. She's kind of, I'm not able to. It's coming here, but I'm not able to recall her name. Yeah. So I've read some of her poems, and she's also one South Indian. If anybody can recall her name, uh,
South
is it?
Indian.
Yeah. Uh, what's her name? I'm not able to recall her. So yeah, I've read some of her poems, and it's also in our college syllabus. Also, when I read it from there only. So yeah, so this theme thing, women thing, it has always stayed with me. That we see that now, it's really true that this patriarchy is there. Women are suppressed. So, and this thing has existed from so long. For if you go back down in history and you read and many articles, many things are there. So, and even in these days, modern era also, we see such things. So I really wanted to express those things, those feelings, because there's another novel in the making that is somewhere in the making here right now. It's no, it has, I haven't typed a word also, but I want to express more deeper emotions of women through that novel, and it's going to be purely a literary fiction, a literary piece, not all fiction. I would say complete literary piece, but it's like going to happen in near future. I don't know when.
All the best. All the best to you. I hope it
Thank you,
happens soon.
man.
I hope it happens soon so that we can all, get a look at it. And what I was thinking of, normally when you write a novel or a book, you have to, put it into some genre. Now you have romance, you have suspense, you have history,
Yeah.
you have so much background, everything. What would you put your Red Ganges into? Which slot would you put it? And when I read through it, all these movies, like you said, like Parinita and Devdas and
Mhm.
all those came back to mind with the opulence of your descriptions. And
Yeah.
in every area,
exactly.
we could see the Ganges flowing by, and those beautiful women and the men all dressed up. So you see all those in movies, so it was easy to visualize it, because that is how it came across in your book. Your I think your gift of description, it came out beautifully there. And so, where would you slot your book? Which genre?
with genre is something. When I started, my mind has this thing that I will put it in contemporary classic, because I have all those classic elements in it.
Yes.
And yeah, so I this started with this thought in my mind, but slowly, while I was progressing, many things happened. So for now, I would say this is more like a suspense mystery, but it has romance as well. It's more like a contemporary drama, classic genre, kind of like this. Yeah, but
Yes.
it's a mix and match of many things, obviously. Because when I was writing, I felt that some more elements needs to be there, so that people find it more interesting. So the Red Ganges thing happened. Well, because while I was writing, I just had a romance story in my mind, and I was writing and writing, and when I was like almost like 7 8 chapters I had completed, and I felt that the title was already there in my mind, the Red Ganges. So I felt the Red Ganges is something that is not getting that kind of volume. It needs to be justified in a different way. So then that particular element that I've used here came to my mind.
Otherwise, you could have got two novels out of it, right? One romance and one suspense.
Yeah.
But you put the two together.
Yeah, actually, what happened is, my nephew, he also stays with us. He's a lawyer by profession, and one of his friends invited him over, and it was his birthday. So he said, "Ki, Mommy, can I have one of your books? I would like to gift it to him." I said, "Okay, you go and take the Red Canvas. All my books are there, kept in the shelf, whatever I've written." So he gifted it to him, and he said, "Mommy, what's the genre I have to tell him?" I told him that, "Tell him this is suspense mystery." He said, "Okay." And then he came back in the evening and asked me yesterday, "Mommy, he's saying that the book starts with a romance love story. So is it a love story?" I said, "No, no, suspense will come later." Too much. Yeah. So far, yeah, I've got some 2 3 reviews, yeah, by Dipti ma'am, Gauri, and Rohini. And I'm waiting for Shrishti. You have to also review. I'm waiting for yours. Moshmi, you please
Yes,
also
yes.
review.
Uh,
So the
I
review.
will
If you
I will share my review soon.
Sorry.
I will share my review soon.
Okay, okay, Moshimi. I think her visual has frozen, I guess.
Yes, yes, some problem is there, I think, with my
Yeah, yeah,
network.
yeah, yeah. But we can hear you. That's fine.
Okay.
So yeah, but Dipti ma'am, I have to still, take this quality from you, that how you write so much and so fast. You can, weave a story like this, and you are so quickly bringing out novels one after another. It took me 9 years to finish this one, the Red Ganges. I don't know second part when I'm going to finish it.
No, no, no. Everything comes. There's a time and place for everything. Everything just falls into place. Like you said, the universe conspires to get you there. So it
Yeah,
just happens at
absolutely.
the right time. My first book also, I took almost 13 years. Second book actually took almost
Okay.
13 years because, like you said, I had a theme in mind and I kept it. It kept it brewing. It
Okay.
kept brewing, and then I only touched it after 10 years or 11 years or something. So that was
Mm-hmm.
a longish thing. These last few years have been, I think, a little, I feel quite blessed because I've been able to bring out different genres. So
Yeah.
I feel that I have, the blessing there. It comes from
Mhm.
above. It doesn't come from me. Somebody up there is looking after me.
Absolutely. So this is actually a gift. Every writer who is able to write, I think this is a gift. Because I started my journey in 2013. Before that, I was writing only some of the articles at school only. I never knew I would write a poetry or a fiction or something. So suddenly, it came, and I was writing, and I started as a poet. I was writing poetry, and I was quite satisfied. Okay, I'll be a poet. That's fine. And then suddenly, I was writing a short story, and then I was like, "Arey, okay, I'll be a short story writer." And then suddenly, I'm writing a novel. So I don't know how the transition happened. It's really a blessing.
I know. And then you turn into an editor and a publisher also. So you're not
Yeah.
stopping anywhere. You're not stopping. You still have a lot in you.
And now back to the student mode.
Back
Mona
to
Lisa, I have one question actually. When it
Yeah.
came to writing a short story and writing a novel, So definitely writing short story is like still easy, but writing a novel, the plot is so long and there are so
Yes.
many things. So do you initially keep them in your mind that this in the long run this thing will happen and I have to elaborate on it, or is it like that it keeps coming and you keep writing as and when whatever plot comes and whatever turns and twists come, or like it's like pre-planned after this these many chapters this will happen, after that that will happen?
No, for the novel, I would say I have taken my time. Like Dikti ma'am said, ki let them brew. So some of my characters were, brewing and breathing inside the laptop. They were like, "Arey, वापस आओ and do something for us." So I took my time for the novel. But for the short stories, which I've written some 6 short stories, they came very fast because I had this theme ki I have to write on women oriented stories I wanted to write, and I wanted to show that how a wrong decision or any impulse decision you take in your life that can make you suffer, and then later on you come out as a winner. So this thing was in my mind, but I wanted to show it differently. So
Yeah.
that's why I wrote those 6 stories
Yeah,
like that.
I have read Demigods Are Alive, and definitely all the stories are very motivating and they have something to tell them.
Yeah. So because women, they remain the main inspiration to me. I feel so many emotions are there locked in us that we are not able to express so fully because of many things, because of the family pressure, because of so many other things. We all are, like women of closets. At least some of the women out there are in so many ways they're confined and they're not able to express themselves. So, I went into their shoes and I tried to write. So even in my case, there are a lot of things that I cannot talk about so freely, but I can write them down. So that's why I create my characters very like vulnerable and very susceptible to the society, to the people around them.
All your stories, they are like such that when I was reading it, I was like almost feeling like I'm going through some kind of TV serial, some
Yeah.
kind of movie show. It like they all had that picturesque property, and they were like so breathing with life that it was very easy to imagine and visualize the characters and the emotions and the place. So it was really nice. Because Demigods Are Alive, I have read and I went through it so nicely that I mean, it's like imprinted how all the characters were so, like one could actually think that they must be the people. They are not like
Yeah.
these kind of people walk on the street.
True.
Yeah.
And you know what? When I was writing this particular story, which is very close to my heart as well, Calcutta Pudding, I
Ah.
wrote this story because one of my, somebody in my family told me that there used to be like this thing that happened that British soldiers or British people, they used to marry Bengali women because they fell in love with during the time, the colonial era. So that particular thing stayed with me, and I wanted to create something related to that. Okay, this has happened, and how you can show it through a story, a short story, that though she took that decision but her life was not so fancy and not bed of roses, how she survived. So I just wanted to write that story down, and that pudding thing came into my mind because this pudding is very famous in
Yeah.
Kolkata.
The
Yeah.
Nolan gourd and all, no, that very traditional way of making it.
Yeah.
Ah.
And because actually we have to stir it for a long time so that it becomes quite thick and creamy. So I was actually one day preparing that pudding, and emotions were playing with me ki how women are so much it's within them and they are not able to express it. So I felt ki something with this pudding has to be there in that story. So that's why I used it, and those emotions that are so deep are coming out through that pudding.
Yeah,
you
I
know
remember the Calcutta Pudding was also my favorite story from Demigods Are Alive. And I also find that all the women characters, in whether be it the short stories or the Red Ganges, they have a common thread. There's a common thread connecting all of them in some way or the other. Yeah.
yeah, because I have I call it my calverse, like it's the universe of
Right.
Calcutta. That's why I call it my calverse, and all these women characters are somehow quite similar to each other and connected.
You know, I have lived in Calcutta only for 2 years, and like once I moved out, I was like my heart was still there. So I really love going through your books. There's so much of Bengali element into it. So it's like it makes me so nostalgic.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, the Red Ganges, like, it would be great if it is made into a movie or something because it's
Oh,
really
yes, yes, yes.
very
I
so
feel so.
nice. I could actually, last year or something, I watched Bulbul, the Hindi movie. So,
Yeah.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
oh yes.
of course, that's a different story. But when I read through the story, I could visualize those descriptions here somehow, that Zamindari house and everything. Your descriptions were so good. So, it would be wonderful to watch it as a movie also,
Oh
your
yes.
novel.
And adding to what Gauri just said, even
Thank
the short stories of Rabindranath Tagore also have been adapted to the screen.
Yeah, right.
Those are so
Uh-huh.
beautifully done. So your book would be perfect for
Yes.
that kind of panorama also.
Yes,
And
I have watched
So,
those short story made into
it's so
movies.
beautifully done, so
Yeah.
beautifully done. No, so you can imagine Mona Lisa's book also being turned into one of those kind of a long
Right.
film, a proper film. Those are short stories, but this could be a proper full-length film. With all the
That would be
opulence and
great.
the beauty and everything. It has the elements of being a good movie.
yes.
Good
Our
watching.
sincere wishes that some director will approach you soon, ma'am.
I
Our
know.
sincere wishes.
Was not think of it. No, I had a word with Shrishti when my book just came and she ordered a copy and I was talking to her. She also told me the same thing. It's looking like it's the name only. It feels like it's coming directly from some movie or motion picture. So I asked her, should I send one copy to some director? So she said, yes, yes, go ahead, send it.
Why not? Absolutely. I'm sure
Yeah.
somebody will grab it. You should
Yeah,
do
right.
it. You should do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do, but I still feel, kind of like a Ray who would even see and look at my books, and nobody has the time. They're so busy people. So I don't feel that
I
kind of,
think it's the story that matters.
Right.
If story catches the eye, it doesn't matter whether it's your first novel or your 15th
Yeah,
novel. If the story
exactly.
has to be good enough to catch the eye.
yeah.
So you're already your story will catch the eye, given all the elements it has. So you should.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, done. I'm going to send it to some of the, directors. I have them in my mind. First one is obviously Sanjay Leela Bhansali because
Oh,
I think he does that kind of
he
magic.
does. Devdas, no? Devdas and really
All his movies.
Yeah, we can imagine, the lady walking with that long hair and that,
Yeah.
sari,
yes,
9 yard sari and
yes.
all. We can just imagine this character, and when we
And
look at this
yeah,
cover,
yeah, and the
especially,
Ganges. And the
it's
Ganges
so
flowing by.
beautiful.
Yes.
Moshami, have you started reading it?
Yeah, I finished it.
Ah,
And
Oh,
I'm
you
writing
finished
the
it.
writing the review actually. Uh,
Okay, so sweet
so
of
I
you. Thank
so I
you.
said I'll share it soon.
Lovely, lovely. Thank you so much.
Uh,
And
it is really,
please
really,
tell.
really interesting. I can say really interesting. Bengal well portrayed. Those 20th. I think it has been staged in the earlier part of 20th century, and that
Yeah,
time you can say chauvinism. Then all these were at its peak, and
exactly.
how you portrayed were really, really beautiful. I loved.
Thank you so much.
I love the character, and one thing is common in your female character. The characters are so beautiful always, and they are brave and a fighter inside always.
Inside.
Yeah,
mm,
Yeah, I guess that quality. I think every woman, they have that kind of strength inside them, even if like they're not able to show it, but somewhere it stays
mm.
within them, and whenever they are able to express it, it comes out. So maybe, yeah, through stories, I am also trying to reflect that yes, we are brave.
And multi-dimensional also. Women are multi-dimensional.
Yeah,
yes,
So,
exactly.
they're more interesting characters to write about also.
Hmm.
Somehow,
yeah.
I always feel, women characters tend to come out stronger and braver than male characters, even though the male characters are physically stronger. But the strength
Yeah.
of a woman comes out more in writing, I feel.
Exactly. And what I try to show most of my stories is also this, that women are really integral in the male society. They have an important role. even if they are like emotional, they are weak or vulnerable, but they have an important role to play in all the lives of all the men.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
they make life more colorful anyway,
Exactly.
in every way.
Yeah, true. And I would reveal it here. It's fine because I'm just giving out the name. I've started the second book. Since I promised it's going to be a duology. So I've mentioned somewhere in the novel that there's a curse which I haven't revealed yet, the Rani Badi curse. So the next title is going to be the Rani Badi curse.
Wow.
So let's see how the story goes.
Wow.
I'm
Very intriguing title.
That's intriguing.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
So are you just starting it, or have you written a little, or is it still there?
Yes, a little. I've written a little because some of the characters, which I haven't elaborated on them because for a reason, of course, I've done because they have a long, more role they have to play in the second part, and all the things will start connecting. Why I have left it at a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I wanted to ask about that only. You were just mentioning.
yeah, some of the characters I've overshadowed, but I haven't given them much light. So
Importance.
for a reason, I've done that. So now they will come in the forefront and they will start their play, and many things will unravel. Yeah, but right now,
Are you
sorry.
stopping at 2? You may
Yeah,
you may go on to 3 also, no?
no, it's going to be the end, of course, because it's the duology I've promised.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's going to end there.
Okay.
Yeah. So, any feedback you want to give for my publishing house, for the group, I would be happy to know. Anything that you want to suggest? Ki this should be like this.
You suddenly stopped doing your projects. I think you should go forward with your projects because your themes are always so amazing, and
I
we
know,
love working on it.
but Moshumi, somehow I don't know. We are not receiving that kind of submission. Earlier we used to receive like the prompt came, and within some 10-15 days there would be my laptop full of submissions, and then I have to filter them out. Key I'm taking this, taking that. Now it's coming to a very little number, and then it becomes difficult which one to select. So thought that let's stop here, give it some time. Maybe people will again start coming and connecting because nowadays it's true that there are so many groups and they have this opportunity to write at so many places, so that's why I felt so. But then this kitchen theme I was jumping with inside me ki, "Arey, nahi, nahi, I have to bring this out. Let's see what happens. Let's see, even if we have some 15-16 poems, I'm good to go.
Only
That's
poems or stories also for this?
Prose, poetry, anything.
anything.
Okay.
It's actually a lovely theme, and something that everybody can relate to.
I
Relate
felt
to.
so.
Yeah.
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 Rohini is looking very intense and serious. Rohini, have you seen
So I
the
was
theme?
just thinking when Dipti ma'am was talking about the prompt, kitchen prompt, already something is cooking in my mind.
You are staring blank because you're still not aware. So I felt I should tell you.
No. I said it is very interesting. I tried to write Volka. I have mentioned it there. So when she said it, and I just thought like, "Arey, I almost forgot about it." So
I'm also looking forward for the Krishna book. It's like I read through the poetries which you had sent.
See,
All
I
the
have to
poems.
tell you. I have to tell you. It's Krishna's blessing because one thing when I started it, I took his blessing. I have a statue of Radha Krishna at my home, and the moment I'm designing it, I always keep on chanting Radhe Krishna, and it's coming out amazingly. I don't want to say it like like I'm flexing or something, but God is making me do it. So it's coming so beautifully. But the only thing is, I'm still not getting the declaration from all the people. I need that so I can then finish this project by. I was planning maybe by Holi we can bring it out.
Lovely,
I
lovely.
think just a couple of them are there, so they
Yeah.
should do it fast.
Yeah,
Because always good when it
yeah.
is coming on a big day, So we always remember last Holi.
Yes. And it's so nice, because I think Mona Lisa, you are an intensely spiritual person, no? It comes through wherever when you're talking also, and when especially the Shiva anthology also, that the poetry, it was so beautifully done because I think it comes from within you. something.
Yeah, I mean,
that,
I won't say that I'm spiritual, like spiritual in the sense that I'm, doing so many pujas and meditation and stuff like that. But I'm spiritual in a way that I'm chanting all the time God's name in my mind. And whenever I'm doing something, I seek blessing. And whenever I'm stuck, I leave it up to, into His hands that
to
you
sort
are
it
there,
out.
you take care of
See,
it. So,
yeah,
like
one thing
this.
I like to say that coming to spirituality, spirituality is not something that you are doing something. Spirituality is
Yeah,
something that you
exactly.
are not doing. You are leaving it to the universe. You are letting it go and let things that are happening, you are just
Yeah.
accepting it. So
Yeah,
it is like that.
beautifully
Yeah.
said. Yeah, Srishti, beautifully said. I agree with you. All of us, I think all of us in our own way are spiritual.
Yeah, all
We
of
are
us.
not, we are
There
not
is no
religious.
escape from
I don't call myself religious in any way. I will not,
Yes.
I may not go to a temple every day and all
Yes.
that. But I know there is a power that takes care of all of
yes.
us. And if
Exactly.
we are positive and we do things the right way, the universe will reward us. Even if we don't expect a reward. It's not a reward or an award. It's just that we need to be good human beings. I think that is the biggest spirituality that one can think of.
True.
And I believe in that fervently.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
And
would like to wish you
we have to
all the best again because you have given us so many
thank
beautiful
you.
opportunities, and I
Yes.
hope that you keep coming up with such beautiful themes. And I really love writing for your themes, and especially coming to horror. I don't think I have written, but many others I have written. And it comes from my heart. And when it is not coming from the heart, I have like written it half but not submitted. So the only which is coming from deep inside, I submit, and then I'm like in love with that piece. And and then when I go through that anthology or anything, I feel that thing from all the writers. I can feel that everybody is pouring their heart out, and that makes the book so beautiful.
True.
Beautiful.
And the best part of CC
Rich.
is like,
And we have
your
a
work.
rich content this time.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Are you Rohini?
Yeah, I was just saying that the
You were
best
saying
part of
something?
CC is that you can hold your work in your hand. When
Yes.
compared to
Yeah,
others,
that is
it's
for
just
sure.
virtual. There, the best part of CC I really love because whatever I've written, I'm just holding it. The literary journals or the
Yes.
anthologies, whatever it
Yes.
is, that
And
is that makes us feel very special.
I
From
know. I
in
think
to
I
Z.
also have all. I think I have practically all the books from CC. I think the one book I didn't have is the one that Srishti held out, the Summers one. That I don't have somehow.
Indian summer in
Oh.
verses. This was when it was
That I
plethora
don't
blogs.
have. I think everything else I don't have this one, but I think all the others I have. And one more thing I must say that the certificates that you give out are so beautiful. I remember
Yes.
the Mona Lisa certificate, that
Yes.
beautiful one. I've never
Yeah.
seen anything like it. It was so
Yeah,
beautiful.
they are so aesthetically done.
Aesthetic, yes, absolutely. I think you have that in you, that anything you do has to be aesthetic. I don't think you will not pass anything that is not.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And even when you write a poem on your page, also the images that you attach to the poem are
Yes.
so beautiful.
Yes.
Like I keep looking at the images than reading the poem first.
Oh yes.
Thank you. And I was feeling this key. We should do this, event, virtual event, poetry event, reading of poetry
Yes.
and a little bit more. So then more people will start connecting, and we can do some book giveaways. This way, people will connect more because I think our books are really good. They should reach out to people.
Absolutely.
I
Yes.
also wanted to add one more thing, Mona Lisa. Like
Yeah.
you make such beautiful, crisp videos of the book. And
Yes.
that makes it so, so contemporary because, books are something which is like paper and pen. And then the videos which you make, like, I remember the diving love story poems, something like that. There was a theme that the way the person would fall down in the water and deep inside. So, it makes it so glamorous. And
Yes.
that is what I really like, because many times it happens that publishing and books and novels becomes very little boring. But then you add that glamorous tinge, which makes it very, a very happening and hip. So that is also one thing which I really appreciate how you make the video.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I would agree with you because you know what? Last 2 years I've done a lot of work in this thing, displaying graphics, creative, and all. This year only I took a bit of sabbatical. I need a little bit of rest also. I felt let's take a little break. But now you are, urging me to do it more.
Because that would give us this thing that this is the book is going to come and it's looking so glamorous. Because everybody doesn't turn the pages, but when we see the video, it's like, oh wow, books can be so interesting. Like it gives it that hep look. So I really like
teasers, even the teasers before every book.
Yeah. I mean, like we don't get to see such type of teasers.
Yeah, I mean, I used to make them and I would watch them on TV, and I would tell my son, my younger son, he is more keen into my work. So, we would watch it again and again, and I would say, Arey yaar, we have done such a good work again, we should do it again.
Very hats off to your creativity that way.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, because a lot of us write, but how good are we at actually sharing our work? I think Monidi sir, you're the ultimate artist at that also, because you share work so beautifully. Not very many of us have that flair, but you do it so easily. So that really helps in getting your books noticed. Getting our books noticed.
I remember when this book was coming out, then you had made such a beautiful video of each poet with the title and a beautiful picture related with that. And that was like looking so like, wow, out of the world, that acha, writers can come to this level also. That was like something very different for a writer to have that kind of video. So, I mean, those things also was like, it was like we've written and we've done everything. You are giving us pudding. Yeah, meetha khao, is tarah se.
I don't know. I think I've done for most of the anthologies and for poetry book. For Shiva also, I've done one teaser.
Yes.
Yes.
With the music and everything. With the music and everything.
Songs of Mermaid. Songs of Mermaid.
Songs of a Mermaid I did.
cover
Actually,
page is so beautiful.
Goddess one, and then I started creating reels for it, because I felt reels are getting more traction. But now you people are making me like, I have to go and do it again. Yeah.
And she's very particular. She's very particular in the way she brings out that particular teaser or whatever it is. The way she gets dressed up and holds it. It looks so divine when we look at that video.
If you remember, I think Frida also we did a teaser.
Yes.
I will replay these things in the group.
No, sometimes I just go to CC's YouTube channel and watch those. I love watching those seasons.
we keep on bringing them, because I think many members who are new, they won't even know such videos are also there.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can just repost them again.
Repost them, yeah. Exactly.
I think you repost, and then all of us will also do it once you do it.
Sure,
We'll
share
action that way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'll take a moment also here to pause and say thank you to all my editors as well. Deepak Chaudhary sir, who has edited this book, my novel, The Red Ganges. Nandita Dedi ma'am, who she has edited so many books. I think I have to recall so many names here, because most of them she has done. And then Moshumi, thank you for the Goddess anthology. Dipti ma'am, thank you for the horror anthology. It's been a wonderful journey. And thanks for this book also. I think inspiration, you all women are out there, you remain inspiration to all my books, because I see emotions. I know I read faces also. If somebody's sitting silent, I will weave so many stories out of their face. So many women out there are inspiration to me, and this journey has come this far all because of you writers, you friends, everything. It means a lot to me. So thank you so much, everybody. And let's cheer that CC will go a long way in creating good books, because I really plan in my future that someday down the line, maybe in my 60s or something, I will open a bookstore and display all the books of CC.
Wow.
Yeah, that would be so commendable.
Yes.
And I'm hoping that this is the 5th anniversary. On the 10th anniversary, we are all together. Even we can be there together before that also.
For that also, yes.
But 10th, we're looking forward for a big bash.
Absolutely.
And that will not be a virtual one, a real one.
Yes.
A real physical one.
Yes.
True. Some glitch happened, I guess.
I know. I think everybody suddenly disappeared.
Yeah.
I thought I lost the connection.
Like Manar has asked something, so because of that, maybe.
This thing's technical, some issue. Yeah, ma'am, you were saying something?
So I'm just saying that all of us also, I think we are all so grateful to you for having brought us together, given us so many books, and we hope to be with you. I think I speak for all. I'm sorry, I'm speaking for all of you also.
Yes, yes,
Yes,
Because
yes,
you
yes.
all love
Certainly.
Chrysanthemum Chronicles, I think, as much as I do. And I really, really hope that we can keep going together and we can keep being there for one another. And thank you so much, Mona Lisa. You are the fountainhead from where, all the springs.
With all of your support, of course. Thank you so much for joining today, and let's catch up again on some other event. So it was lovely meeting you today. Please once just hold this book for me. I would be so happy,
Oh,
because this is
oh
the
my God,
virtual
I bought
moment.
mine, but it's up there. Mine is there. I have it. Just pretend I'm holding it. It's there.
Okay,
It's
sure,
there in my heart.
sure, ma'am. So the Red Ganges novel is out there. You can get this
Are we
signed.
taking a picture? I'll just take a picture. Otherwise, you know what happens that, remember Mona Lisa?
Yeah,
And
I
then-
know.
I'll just take a picture with my phone and I'll just
Absolutely. This will be our seize the moment, na?
okay. One, are we ready? Smile. I hope it has come well.
I have taken it too.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone, and
Thank you
bye.
so
All
much.
take care. Have fun. Enjoy
Yeah.
your day.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank
Bye
you.
bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And remember you all.
Thank
Bye. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.